How's it going, everybody? This is your host, Scorpion LXP Sports, talking to you today about the opening press conference and so far my opinion on Todd Monken. So, a couple things. I know people have probably seen my original video talking about Todd Monken and how shotgun reaction, I did not like the hire. I thought it was a very dumb hire, and potentially losing Jim Schwartz, I think, is a very stupid and bad thing. Now, had a couple days to marinate, saw the press conference, or at least good portions of it, and so far, I have to say, do I like the hire? I'm gonna wait until he actually coaches a game and see how he goes from there. I need to see him coach. And I think that was the main thing I think I was missing there. And first take reaction. I think I need to see him coach and see what he's got up his sleeve because there's been a lot of reports out there saying that he wanted sorry guys, for adjusting myself, that he wanted that John Harbaugh wanted Todd Monken to be with him, which makes sense. They were in Baltimore. They coached together in Baltimore, and Todd Monken always wanted to be with the Browns. So it's very clear that John Harbaugh really thinks very highly of Todd Monken, and it seems a lot of people around the league think so as well. I was at a autograph signing for on this passing Saturday for Jameis Winston, and Jameis Winston. First off, if anyone here has the chance to meet Jameis Winston, I highly recommend it. Dude is amazing. Shout out to Jameis. Dude was awesome. Signed my jersey and everything. Love him. The dude literally had nothing but great things to say about Cleveland and said that Todd Monken is a fantastic hire and says that hopefully he can develop Shadur and he turns into something. Which dude didn't have to say any of that stuff. I mean, he was just talking to some dumb Cleveland kid. He could have just said like, oh, here's your jersey. Thanks for being a fan. Have a good one. See ya. Dude talked to me for a minute. We talked a little bit about the Browns. Dude was amazing. Loved loved every minute I spent with him. He was fantastic. So hearing Jameis Winston say that, and then hearing a lot of people around the league also say this. Not to mention they brought over the offensive line coach, which is a huge win. That is a major plus. Because there's two things that I've been critical about the whole season of the Browns. Wide receivers and offensive line. Well, you're solving one of those problems. Gotta solve the other one, but you're solving one of the two problems. The other problem is since it coincides with the offensive line. Oh, because of that, the offensive line being shit, the run game was shit at times. Not gonna say Judkins was bad. He was a very good player. He had a marvelous season. Shame what happened to him. Hopefully he gets back to playing again next year. Seems to be getting close. So, after that, Todd Monken decides to bring over the Ravens run game coordinator for the offensive coordinator spot. And I'm starting to think, who have the Ravens had outside of, Derrick Henry? Because it's Derrick Henry. He didn't develop. Derrick Henry didn't develop there. They had Keaton Mitchell. They've had Justice Hill. They had Dobbins. Solid quality running backs go through there. And I'm starting to think, they have also some solid offensive linemen. So this goes hand in hand, and that means that they're focusing on the run game, which, first off, that's your strength. Quinshot Judkins is your strength. You got to use that to your fullest advantage. And I like that. And this coincides with my next thought is if you're bringing those two in together, this means that you're trying to get the run game started, and that means you're probably going to be developing Shadur or another mobile quarterback. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Another mobile quarterback in some capacity where you can have some quarterback runs, designed runs in there. Which, if that's the case, hell, I'm fine with it. Bring in some mixture because the more I was watching the Browns, which, if for people that don't watch Browns football, just imagine you're in hell and you're forced to watch bad high school games for like the rest of your life. And every now and then they would do something awesome. Like, oh my god, this guy actually caught the pass. That's crazy. They got a first down. Whereas, like half the other teams in the league are like, yeah, you just got one first down. Now can you do it again? It's like, no, we can't do that. So I think bringing in Todd Monken also clears up a few things. I don't think Dylan Gabriel ends up on this roster next season, which, I mean, I feel bad for him in a way. I do. Do I think he was a good quarterback? Absolutely not. I don't think he was a good player at all. But I feel kind of bad in the fact that he was just not good. And I think he just needs a new fresh start. Ooh, excuse me. My apologies. I think he needs a fresh start somewhere. Maybe a coordinator or a head coach that actually, wants him. Like maybe he can go to Atlanta. I'm fine with that. Send him with Kevin. Because the other thing about if you watch Kevin Stefanski call plays, which he's gonna call plays, so Atlanta, please, be ready for this. Your first drive every game is gonna look incredible. You're gonna look like the fucking Super Bowl, man. You're gonna look amazing. And then you're gonna wonder what the hell happened. Because it falls off quick. So now, going back to the Browns, I really think that Kevin Stefanski, it's looking like a Kevin Stefanski. God damn it! Oh, excuse me. Jeez. It's a little early for me to. Not normally up this early. But I had to make this. So, personally, I think that this has become a Kevin Stefanski versus the Browns organization. Just to see, how much was it the Browns' fault and how much of it was Kevin's fault. Now, of course, you can point to both sides. I think both sides aren't blameless. I personally think the Browns, while very inept, good Lord, I apologize. My God. I am not bored talking about this. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I apologize. Jesus. So, ugh. My main thing is I think while the Browns are inept, and they're very dysfunctional, Kevin Stefanski didn't do himself any favors being here with Deshaun Watson. I don't believe that he wanted to get saddled with Deshaun Watson. I think that was an Andrew Berry / Jimmy Haslam move. I think Stefanski had input on it. What was the straw that broke the camel's back for me though is the treatment of Shadur. I wholeheartedly believe he did not want Shadur. I'm not really big into like conspiracies or anything like that. I don't look at, oh, this guy just wants this quarterback to fail. I don't think that at all. I think if you draft somebody, you're trying to have them succeed. I think that was the one case where I think that I don't think he was being set up to fail, if you would add. I don't think that was the case at all. I just don't think Kevin liked him. I don't think Kevin wanted him on the roster. I think personally he wanted Dylan Gabriel and he wanted Dylan Gabriel to shine. And when it found out that he didn't, I mean, good Lord! When it found out that he looked horrendous, I mean, I watched him that Patriots game, and I haven't seen two sides look so good in so long like that. I haven't seen the or not so good. Like both sides, I couldn't be more different. That defense couldn't have played better, and you lost by 20. They couldn't have played better. They were playing so good. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. Carson Schwarzenegger had like 12 tackles, and like dude, and he played so bad to the point where the Browns defense just crumbled after like the fourth quarter because there was nothing they could do. I mean, you saw Garrett on the sidelines, man. He literally ripped his helmet off and threw it on the ground because the dude had 5 sacks. Five! By himself! 5 fucking sacks! And you lose by 20? Come on! At the very next week, I thought for a fact they should have put Shador in. Because for me, I was like, I can't watch another game if this dude's the quarterback. Now, Kevin Stefanski wanted him. I feel like he should have the due diligence, and he should have him. So I personally think that the Browns should trade Dylan Gabriel to the Falcons for like a 6th or 7th round pick. I'm completely fine with that. Good fucking God! If I yawn again, I might actually crash out. More than I did in that Cavs video that I just did. Oh my God. I am so sorry. So, going back with everything going on with Todd Monken, he seems to have a good head. He wants to develop Shadur, which is good to have a guy that actually fucking wants you in his team. I think this is going to be a good hire. Well, not good. I'm not going to say good. I think this is going to be a decent hire, maybe a stepping stone, maybe for another guy. Now, the problem is you need to retain my fucking God. You need to retain Jim Schwartz any way you can. Money talks. I think Jimmy will give him the money. I think that Jim Schwartz will not stay, but I hope he does stay. I want him to stay because that's one side of the ball you don't got to mess with. If Todd Monken can get anything out of this offense, then he will already he'll do some wonders, man. And that'll be nice. That'll be nice to see. So, that'll probably do it for me. Sorry for yawning most of the time. And, hopefully that everyone I don't think everyone has turned their back on the Browns, but I do believe that while the Browns are definitely a dysfunctional team, I do think that Monken might not be as bad as I originally thought. He's bringing in the Ravens guys, who has been a very competent organization. So, Jesus. I apologize again for all of my yawning, and I hope that everybody has a good day. You all stay safe, and please, stay warm. It's very cold over here in Cleveland. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe.